What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and thanks for stopping by for my second video. Got a couple things to get into tonight before we get into all the SOCOM stuff. So I'm going to start out with thanks to Celerity. He gave me a shout out in his last video. He's got some really good stuff with an update about David Sears, and I'll give some of my commentary on that a little later, but I don't want to totally give away everything he had in his video, so go check it out. S2 Celerity on Twitter, I believe. So that's one thing. The second, if you're watching this on YouTube, you've probably seen some stuff that looks a little different from the last time you were here. If this is the first time you're here, I guess you wouldn't notice, but you may see Average Joe's posted on my icon and at the top of the page. That is going to be the new sort of name and persona I'm going to take on for these videos that I'll be doing, because as I've said, I want to talk a lot of SOCOM, but eventually I would like to grow this channel at some point, but I'm going to stay true to my roots for a while with SOCOM as long as I feel necessary. So Average Joe's will be the new alias, the new name of myself and this channel. I will soon be renaming my Twitter account along with that. I just don't want to go and change it on everybody, and then everybody doesn't know who the hell I am. So it'll soon be changed. It's already changed on YouTube. The change soon coming to Twitter. Average Joe's. I am Average Joe. Welcome to my second video for SOCOM. So, I posted a poll to my Twitter account, and because I did that because I wanted to get some feedback from you guys who listened to my first video, and I really appreciate that, by the way. I want to get some feedback from you about what you would like me to talk about, what you'd like to hear. Because after all, I'm just here to create some conversation about the game for all the people that love the game and they just don't have a way to play it right now, So that's what I'm here for, and that's what I did that poll for. I'll try to be doing as many of those as possible so I can engage you guys in the discussion that I'll be having. So the option that was selected from the poll for me to talk about is SOCOM's new gen prospects. What does that really mean? That means, what do I think and what do we all think of how SOCOM would work in today's environment, today's gaming environment, both from a hardware perspective and from sort of a culture perspective. So I've got a lot to say about that. You guys picked a good topic, the few of you that were kindly enough to vote. Thank you very much. And there's just a lot that goes into it, and I'll start off by saying that I don't think there's ever been a better time for SOCOM. I really don't. And SOCOM was huge when it was, through 1 and 2. I mean, it's revolutionary with the online gaming and everything. I mean, it was a flagship franchise, and it had a huge run of success. But I don't really think there's ever been a better time for it than right now. And there's a lot of reasons. Before I can really delve into it, I think that the number one place that I have to start almost always, based on where we are right now, is that the gameplay of SOCOM, and let's face it, we people that played SOCOM are of a generation where what was most important in the game was the gameplay. We grew up with those old generation consoles, I mean, there weren't high-tech graphics back then. A game was about how fun it was to play. And there is just so much of that factor involved in SOCOM, and I think everybody in the community realizes that. And it's just, the game has to be returned to its roots. The gameplay was never a problem, and the things that they started doing with the later iterations of SOCOM and making all those changes and trying to compete, with other games and stuff like that, that's just not necessary. You just got to return to the roots. That's the most important thing to start with, because if you don't do that, you will end up with another flop, more than likely. So, that's the most important thing. Now, how would it really do in the new generation, consoles that is today? Obviously, like I just mentioned, the gameplay is the most important thing. Let's assume they bring the gameplay back in a good way, in the way that we want. With these, consoles that we have today, and the ones that are, by the way, coming in the next year or two, the graphical boost will be significant. Not that that's the most important thing to us. I mean, for all we care, it could look exactly how it did on PS2. As long as it's playing and functioning properly, we wouldn't care. But we don't even have to ask for that little. If it was remastered, or if it was, they made a new SOCOM game, true to the roots, as we say, then there would be a huge graphical boost, obviously. I mean, we're like 2 console generations now removed from when the last time people were really getting what they wanted from a SOCOM game. So the graphics would be good. And that's nice. We'll take it. Is the most important thing? No, but it's a factor. We'll take it. And what I would say, in my estimation, in the early SOCOM games, among the biggest problems were cheaters, lag, and hit detection. And those can be fixed with the modern technology that we have now, I would think. You might have your cheaters, but I don't think you're going to have people, with rockets flying around in the sky, raining them down on the rest of the map kind of cheating. I don't think that cheating is going to be running rampant the way that it was. The lag, I mean, again, with the modern technology, you would think that we're going to have more stable servers if we get a true SOCOM game. So that problem is going to be eliminated. And hit detection, again, it all comes back to it's modernized technology to make the gameplay of SOCOM. Again, it wasn't even the gameplay. It was more just the functionality of the game that could be frustrating sometimes. And that could be so vastly improved upon with the resources that are available today. Speaking of resources, PlayStation Network costs money now. We're paying to play online. We weren't before, outside of maybe paying for a network adapter at the very beginning. We weren't paying a subscription just to be able to access the online features of the game. So, therefore, you would think that Sony's network should be secure and be able to run with more stability, which would make SOCOM run with more stability, which would eliminate one of its, most significant problems. So, again, I mean, has there ever been a better time for SOCOM? I don't know. Now, there's a whole other side of this. And this is the exciting side for SOCOMers. This part is the most exciting part right here. Today's culture of gaming, I mean, it would make it easy for us, the community, and for Sony themselves to grow the brand of SOCOM. There are streamers, there are content creators, just all over the place now. And, I mean, we don't even have a game. The SOCOM community doesn't even really have a game. We have H-Hour. It's an independent developer. It's coming along. It's not complete. I think we all know that about H-Hour. And as far as Insurgency, some people hit me up on Twitter recently, and again, I've said I appreciate that project. I appreciate H-Hour. I appreciate the effort put in to get us a SOCOM game back. But when I'm having this conversation, I'm having it on the scale of we're getting these resources from somebody that's really got them, somebody like Sony. So, again, I appreciate all those efforts. I don't want anybody to misunderstand that, but this conversation is based around the fact that can we get SOCOM back the way that we want it, which is backed by Sony and done properly, true to its roots. So, again, under that light, with the gaming culture it's a great combination with SOCOM. Again, with the emergence of esports, we all know what SOCOM has done for game battles in Major League Gaming. We've all said it many times. We all know how well SOCOM could fit into esports, and we all know how much that's being pushed nowadays, more than ever. Has there ever been a better time for SOCOM? I don't know. I don't think so. Now let's get into some core features of what I like about SOCOM that I think translates well in today's sort of gaming space that I don't see a lot in games that I play. And again, I'm on a limited budget here, very limited budget, and I can't play every game out there, so I can't speak for every game. But in the games that I've played, a feature that's unique to SOCOM that I miss, that I don't see in many other ones, and I've said it before in my blog if any of you have read it, user-created ranked rooms. This is a unique and awesome feature of SOCOM. It truly is. And now I know that right away there might be a downfall to it that jumps to mind for some people right away. And that's people who rank up. As in, they sit there with their 2 PlayStations and they rank themselves up. I'll never understand the satisfaction in that, but it was something that people did. And it messes up your ranking system in the game. And I understand why that's a negative of the feature. However, I think the positive of user-created ranked rooms is it significantly outweighs the negative, in my opinion. And here's why. SOCOM, what I think one of the things that it did best is it gave you the chance to play exactly the type of game that you wanted to play. If you wanted to play on a very specific set of maps, you could create a room with exactly the kind of maps that you want. And with exactly the amount of, round time and everything, you could set it all up to exactly the type of game you wanted to play. And I mean, matchmaking was never a part of SOCOM, really. I mean, not in the early days, for sure. And I love that. I love having the briefing rooms. I love people being able to set up a room the way that they want. If you got that urge to play Frostfire all night, you could find a room and play Frostfire all night when SOCOM was at its peak. And one of the options for a topic in this episode was my favorite maps and stuff and weapons, and we'll come back to that. I don't want to make this too long, but I just love those options that we were given. And it's a ranked room too. It's like, well, in some games you can make that, you could make like a room like that, but it won't be ranked, and people want to play ranked. But now you say, but what about the people that are messing up the ladders in the game? What about the admirals that have like a total of 20 deaths on their name and they're number 1 and they got 50,000 kills and 100,000 hostages? You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. What about those people that are messing that up for everybody? The people in SOCOM 2 who are sitting on the cusp as a lieutenant commander that want to get to the captain rank, and that should be there based on their skill. What do you do about that problem? Well, again, I feel like the options that we had to make rooms to play in with each other, and set up tryout rooms and things like that, it was all just so nicely done. Those features were so crucial to SOCOM, in my opinion, that I think they far outweigh the couple people that might squirm their way up the ladder. But again, this is the major reason I believe that. I mentioned the growth of esports, right? I mentioned that SOCOM spawned game battles and Major League Gaming, essentially. Maybe spawned is a little bit too strong of a word for Major League Gaming, but let's just say SOCOM's had a heck of a lot of influence in getting those things up and running. In my opinion, as somebody who played every SOCOM there was to play, if you were trying to be competitive, if you cared enough about the ladders and where you ranked, you were on game battles, man. That's where you were. Those are the ladders. Those are the ones that count. And we've seen what game battles has grown into. If SOCOM comes back, it's primed to return to dominance on that website. And I don't mean like it's going to make all the other games go away. Those games will never go away. You're just going to have a new just monster out there that people are going to be playing competitively. Oh, heads up, streamers, content creators, streaming clan wars. I mean, think about it from this perspective too. Think about the strategical elements that adds to SOCOM, even more than already existed in the game. Imagine SOCOM's back and it's on game battles and it's on the ladders, and you're trying to work your way up that doubles ladder, you and your boy, or that squad ladder, you and a couple of your boys, or girls. We had a lot of girls playing SOCOM. I can't forget them. So, I mean, imagine you're trying to catch somebody who's in front of you on the ladders, and they're streaming their clan wars live. What do you think you're gonna do? You're probably gonna watch it. Why? Because then you're gonna want to play them, and then you're gonna want to beat them, and work your way up the game battles ladder. Meanwhile, they're just streaming just to promote their clan, just because it's fun, just because the SOCOM was that competitive. It would be fun to watch. like that. I think SOCOM and Twitch live streaming and things of that nature are a dream combination. And then I don't know how much live streaming I'd be doing personally, but I'd love to be creating content. Instead of sitting here talking to you guys, I'd love to be here playing in Clan Wars and playing SOCOM and creating that content with gameplay. So it's just a perfect marriage, in my opinion. And here's even more why SOCOM's new gen prospects are great in this space, in game battles and everything. Here's the kicker. I know you all remember those guys that you'd play them in a clan war and game battles, they'd turn super salty and turn around and not report the loss. Or they'd be cheating during the game. One of the two. Which forced everybody back in the early 2000s, before we had iPhones and all this crazy stuff we got now, to bust out their old school digital cameras, hook them up to the TV, snap pictures, do whatever you had to do. We all remember that, don't we? Anybody that played game battles, I shouldn't say we all. As a matter of fact, I had a person comment on my last video. Hey man, I never got to play SOCOM online. I loved the single player. I wish I could have played SOCOM online. I wish I could play it right now. There's people out there, man. We're out here. Don't let anybody tell you that we're not. So that was the problem with game battles, right? You had to have the evidence that you won. And it was a pain in the ass to make sure that you had that evidence, which made game battles frustrating at times. I got 2 words for you, everybody. And if you know them, feel free to shout them out with me. Share button. Share button. Problem solved. Problem solved. Instead of everybody having to hook some crazy-ass camera up to record something or snap pictures that they have to prove are from that game, that solution is literally built into the systems. Literally built in. Imagine not having to deal with that shit anymore. People not reporting their losses. People getting away with cheating. Everybody's going to be recording, baby. In a clan war on game battles, the SOCOM community, you know everybody's recording. Not just one person. There's not just one person recording the war. Everybody on the team recording in a game battles war. I guarantee it. And it would eliminate probably almost the entire problem that exists with that. Has there ever been a better time for SOCOM? No way. No way. Do I need to throw a couple more points on top of it just to prove it? I mean, SOCOM doesn't need to compete with Call of Duty. It doesn't need to compete with, whatever other shooters are out there or whatever other games are out there. We don't need to go putting the cover system into SOCOM. We don't need to go trying to make it a competitor of those type of games. We got to return it to what it is. And what it would be is a much needed just injection of variety to the third person shooter market, or just the shooter market in general in gaming. There's too many first person shooters out there, in my opinion, and not enough third person shooters, at least in the mainstream. I mean, for my personal I like first person shooters, but it's a very similar experience most of the time at the end of the day. I feel like the third person shooter is a more diverse experience, and we don't have a lot of them that I've really enjoyed playing personally. I know that's just my opinion, but I guess that's just because of the standard that I have with SOCOM. So all in all, I think what I'm trying to say here is there's a market for SOCOM outside of what exists of the SOCOM community. Like, we're all here. We're waiting for our game. Because there's never been a better time for SOCOM. And there are more people out there that would enjoy it. I believe that at my core. I believe that. And, if I really wanted to sit down and do it, I'm sure I can come up with 1,000 more reasons why I think there's never been a better time for SOCOM. But when you just put in all this stuff, return it to its roots, graphical boosts, not that we care about that much, but it helps. Keep the classic gameplay. Eliminate as much of the lag, cheaters, and hit detection issues as you can with the modern technology. Improve server stability. hopefully that's what our our $50 a year is going to for the cost of the PSN. Let's improve the privacy and the server stability. That'll improve a lot of problems that existed in SOCOM. The culture of gaming, streamers, content creators. SOCOM is a perfect match with all that. Game battles. Let's get one of the games, if not the game, that made game battles what it is today back into the fold. And we can eliminate the problems that existed with that, with the technology that already exists within the systems. The consoles, I should say. You don't have to worry about making SOCOM a competitor of other games. Just make SOCOM SOCOM, and you'll see the results. You know, if a SOCOM fan can make it happen, if an independent, game developer can make it happen, or if Sony can make it happen, man. There's never been a better time for SOCOM. If you guys stuck around this long, I want to thank you for watching this whole video. I know it was a long rant, but like I said, you guys picked a great topic. Because I've been saying it over and over, there's never been a better time for SOCOM, man. Let's get that. Let's get a hashtag going for that or something. There's never been a better time. Never. So thanks again for tuning in. If you're liking what you're hearing from this channel, man, feel free, throw those thumbs up on the video. Hit the subscribe button. I'm still starting out here, so I appreciate every one of you that is willing to come in and listen to what I have to say about the game. So thank you guys again. Look out for that rebranding. Average Joes, that's me, and you guys. We're all just a bunch of average Joes out here. And remember, I do want to hear from you now. Whatever your thoughts are on some of these things, leave them in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter. Get in touch with me however you feel the need. And let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation about it. But I think we all agree, there's never been a better time for SOCOM. Thanks again, guys, for stopping by. I will see you on the next one.